Hi, I'm Heiken, and this is my second part of the TUNIC Any% tutorial video. If you're watching this one, this means you probably already have watched the setup one. So I'm just gonna go through the start of a run and explain everything I do, everything I can think of. I'll try to be as complete as possible, but if I miss something, please ask a question in the Discord server or you can DM me on Discord directly too if you want. So there we go. So you press new game basically. During the intro cutscene, you can actually input codes already to unlock the first collectibles. So, I failed this one. It's not a big deal. You have a lot of time to do it. I usually do only 2 items there because we have time later in the run to do the third one. So you're gonna need overall, you're gonna need 1 dynamite, 1 firebomb, and 1 ice bomb. Or you usually craft those 2 and then the ice bomb later, but you can craft all 3 if you have time. It's the same thing. So to do this, you need to input a code on your keyboards. I will put in the descriptions of the video all the codes that you are gonna need throughout the run. Once you wake up, you just move, just roll and start moving. What I usually do, actually, let me rewind, is I roll once, roll twice, and then start running. So to run, you need to leave the roll button pressed, basically. A little note on what I told you on the previous video. So as you can see, I have my X key bound to numpad 0, so the keyboard roll, instead of having it bound directly in-game to interact and dodge. It's a very small optimization, but if you're interested in it, I can show you why I do this. So it lets you, so the keyboard roll is a little bit stronger as it lets you buffer a roll. So if you walk into a transition and start pressing numpad, so X now, when you are inside the transition, you will get a roll out. You will, when the timer is red, basically. Sorry, I will rephrase. So if you enter transition and when the timer is red, you start pressing already the numpad 0 or the X button on my controller. It will let me buffer a roll. So that means I will always get a roll on frame 1 when getting out of the transition. It should save a little bit of time across the run. If you don't have it, if you don't have this button, you need to kind of time when to go. However, if you are rolling inside the transition, this doesn't work. There, I am not rolling. The roll buffer doesn't work because I'm rolling inside the transition. And also, if I'm running and if I don't release the run button as soon as I enter the transition, like I keep it up, it's not gonna work either. So the thing you want to note, if you want to use it, once again, it's really at the beginning of learning the run, it's really like nothing important. But you want to keep in mind that it won't work if you roll inside in transition. And it won't work if you have roll pressed when the timer gets red. So that's about it. It's really minor and it's not important. I mentioned it because it's kind of new and I just was playing with it. But I would highly suggest to not care about it until you have learned the whole run, basically. So you get into so you run. So you were here. You run inside the button inside this stick room, and you go open the chest. While the chest is opened, you need to equip this. So if you pretend that this is not open yet, I press interact to open the chest. Quickly, I press my inventory button, item 1 inventory button. Then you save and quit as soon as you have the item. It saves a little bit of in-game time, and we rank the game by in-game time. Oh, by the way, that's something I kind of forgot to talk about. You need to turn on speedrun mode here in the option that should have been talked about in the previous video, but I'm thinking about it now. There's also a bunch of accessibility options. I think the run is a little bit more visible, like some stuff is a little bit more visible if you have those activated, those three. It's not necessary, but I like those. So you continue, you get there. Now you need to prepare to switch from controller to keyboard and start running with numpad 0. Not now. Now you can run with the normal. Like if you see me pressing X, even though numpad 0 is pressed, that means I'm doing it with the controller. If you see me only pressing numpad 0, it means I have my hand on the keyboard. So now I run with the controller, I throw the dynamite towards me, and immediately I switch my hand to the controller and you roll. I kind of failed it, I will show it again, because basically you need the roll, you want the roll to like pretend this is not cut off already. You want the roll to, sorry, let's try again. To avoid taking damage from the dynamite, like this, for instance. Okay, now as soon as you roll with numpad 0 there, you want to start typing the code of the door. Again, I will put it in the description. One thing that you have to note is that you need to finish typing the code, so the last input has to be around here. So a little bit earlier, like this, won't open the door because you're not in range. And if you're too late, you're gonna get stuck a little bit against the door while it opens. So the best way to do it is like finish typing the code about here. So yeah, that means that the only thing that matters to the game that checks whether you're in range or not to open a door is the last input. So you're running with numpad 0, typing the code, finish typing it now, open the door, and get in the door. You collect the berries that are going to be very useful for the final boss fight. While opening the chest, you equip the stick, just like I did. So you have the cursor here. Open inventory down, press this on B. It's necessary that it's on item 3. And close the item. And then you don't roll, you just quit to title. And then we are going to do the very first ladder storage. It's going to be a trick that is going to be, like, we are going to do a lot of those during the run. So you better practice it now so you are kind of familiar with it. So what you want to do is you want to press the whatever button you bound to interact and item 3. So for me, it's this, it's right stick. So you are going to do while facing the ladder, and then you're going to spam roll to get away from the ladder before it triggers. It's kind of tricky to do, especially with the stick. Once we are going to have the sword, so about like 3 minutes into the run, the ladder storages are going to get a lot more consistent. But with the stick, for some reason, it's a little bit more precise. So you have to find your own rhythm and get it someone consistently. So that looks like this. It's very useful because, as you can see, while I'm in a ladder storage state, I'm able to completely ignore floor limits and walk away. However, if I stop running for a second, I get warped back to the ladder. So basically, we trick the game into thinking we're still on the ladder, but we roll away at the right time. So a little cue to see if you have it is you need to not have the stick showing. There I missed it, or I messed up the inputs, so I still have the stick. But if I do it correctly, I don't have the stick in hand anymore. So I'll let you practice on this one. You can try to do it as consistently as possible. We're gonna do a lot of those in early game and even later on. So that's about it. So we're gonna use this ladder storage, this one, to get over there. You want to aim about this angle. As long as you walk in between those two pillars, it means you have kind of the right angle. And we are gonna try to hit this loading zone right here. As soon, one thing you can notice is the thing is to cancel the ladder storage without getting warped back, there are two options. Either you take damage or you enter the transition. When you enter the transition, which is really useful sometimes, like this, to get somewhere else, you are gonna get into a glitchy state where you can't do anything. So what you can do is just quit to title and reload the game. So you are gonna need to do that every time you enter a transition with ladder storage. So now what we do is we take this little save point, which is gonna be really useful to, so it's our respawn point when we die, and we're gonna want to die a lot. Okay, so now there's two options really. There's a risky but fast that saves about probably over 10 seconds now with the later optimization, and the safe option. I will show the safe option once. So, because the other one can be a bit frustrating. So if you don't want to start the run with everything, if you want to play it a little bit safer to start things off, which is a good thing to do, you just run around, walk on this little metal thingy, try to avoid the crabs, get to this ladder, climb the ladder, enter this frog's domain, and this is where the route differs. I mean, not differs, actually joins. But if you don't want to do it, you can have a little bit of a harder strat. So what we are gonna do, I will show it once. I didn't mean to trigger this, but it's fine. Is this. You want to fall off the stairs, then you want to pick this up, quit to title, roll again, do a ladder storage off of it. Oops. I failed it. It's fine. Walk a little bit on the slope to gain height, get out of the slope, and enter the loading zone through here. And save and quit so that you reset the state. And you get back to where we were. Yeah, it's definitely harder. It adds two difficult little stuff. So a ladder storage and this stair fall skip, which is kind of hard. But it's about 10 seconds faster. So it's really up to you what you want to do. To perform this, you need to start running alongside the ramp from the very top. Like this little ledge. You need a very precise angle that is kind of parallel to it, just a little bit more like right, just a little bit more in it. It's really precise. You are probably gonna struggle a little bit to get it at first, but it can get somewhat consistent. So if you want to go all in and learn all the fast stuff, I suggest spending a lot of time in here to get this a little bit consistent. So what I like to do is running against this pillar and adjusting my angle. So there I failed it because my angle was too sharp. If your angle is really too sharp, you don't get on the ramp. If your angle is not sharp enough, so basically like parallel, then you don't get on the ramp either. But if you have the right angle, you should get on the ramp. You don't want to change angle at all during the skip. And you need to have an angle sharp enough so that you fall. It's very much feel-based. You need to get the angle precisely in your hands, but it's manageable and RTA viable. That's too sharp. Okay. As soon as you roll, you press A, so you need to be really against it, and like about at the same height as the beginning of this tile is fine to pick it up. Because the collision can be a little weird. You can't pick it up here, you can't pick it up here. So you really need to be kind of aligned with this. Pick it up as soon as you press, you don't need to wait for the animation, you quit to title. And then you roll to it and do another ladder storage. So same inputs, you press this button and you press, and you spam A to roll away. So what you want to do, I will just return to it, is you want to get on this little bit of slope to get a little height boost, and then when you're aligned to those bushes, you want to get out of the slope. If you get out too late, like for instance there, you will be too high. You will be higher than the loading zone, and it won't work. So what you want to do is get out of the slope when you are aligned with the bushes. Then you enter the transition. Save and quit. Or quit the title. Then you roll. And you're in Frog's domain. So this is just like movement. You can optimize a little bit of like the little like hidden plank there. This one, you can cut it really short, so it saves a little bit of time. You roll away. A little optimization that you can do in all of the ladders, actually. I should get to some ladder with some lights. You want to stop running a little bit before it. Don't wait until you're in front to stop running, because there is a little delay from when you stop running to when you can start interacting with the ladder. So if I stop running right in front, I will have to wait and lose a little bit of time. If I stop running, like let's say here, then I can just walk, I can just climb the ladder directly. So you're gonna see me do it at every ladder pretty much. Okay, now we're inside the frogs domain for real. You are gonna do another ladder storage here, which is gonna let you pass this, because this doesn't have a collision. This is not actually a physical object, it's just a floor limit, so we can ignore it. And what we are gonna do is we're gonna try to trigger them, walk parallel, get to the balcony and turn around, which is gonna normally let the magician hit you onto the platform. So you collect the orb and then you want to die. So take damage from whatever you can. And when you die, you want to quickly equip grappling hook on item 2 and firebomb on item 1. So it's gonna start this little cutscene, well, interactive cutscene where you can just go walk towards the here and get a little bit of lore. However, we still have access to our items, like for instance the hook. So what we're gonna do is just gonna press item 1 to use the bomb, roll into it, and just die. We have 1 HP in this cutscene, so you just die again, and it skips a little bit of the cutscene. So we are back to the save points. Now we are gonna roll away. You need to do this earlier, so you can't interact and get a roll, actually. This is better. And then, so this is a ladder, as you can see. It's a hidden ladder, and we can do a ladder storage off of it. So you're gonna do a ladder storage. I failed it. Get away. Gets kind of... You need to get as close to the chest as possible for a like straight line. And then you stop running there and you get hit by this sword twice. So taking damage, as we saw, is a way to insert ladder storage. So now we can just go walk to West Garden. It's important to take damage twice because we need to damage down because we need to die after we pick up the item in West Garden. So now we are going to enter the loading zone and switch from controller to keyboard with the right hand because we want to run there with numpad 0, as you can see on the input layout. And what I like to do is about here when I'm on this little bridge, I will start inputting the next code. Once again, I'm going to put the code in the description. I can start inputting the code here. And you want to input the last, same as last time, the last input is what matters. The last input, you want to press it about here when you're under the blue stuff. If you press it too early, the door won't open. So let me just do everything at once. Okay, so you can see what it looks like with the input display. You come from here, you start inputting that. You can go slowly because you have time to input it. You're running, so you're not losing time. Inputting codes fast is never like you never gain time by inputting stuff fast. So that's pretty cool. So you collect the sword, you roll away. So now that we have the store, all the ladder storage, as you are gonna see soon, are much easier. You say hi to Terry. This is a crocodile named Terry. You just roll. See, I failed to roll, but it's fine. Let me show again. It's a very minor optimization, but I was talking, so I have more time to talk anyway. Break, I need to roll with numpad 0. Yeah, you need to roll, so you can only walk inside the water, you can't run, so you can just walk. Collect the swords. And that's also because we used to do that there because it used to save time back then. Now it doesn't save time anymore, but I still like to input the ice bomb codes there. So when I'm in the water. So you just roll to get a little bit extra like distance. You get the ice bomb if you want to do it here. If you had done it at the intro cutscene, then you don't need to do it now, obviously. And now what we are gonna do is we are gonna stop to equip the sword when we are behind this pillar. So about here. I equip the sword, so you have to press down and right to get the cursor to the sword. And then, as you can see, when we start walking again, Terry is gonna hit us exactly twice. Now we run there. There is a ladder in front of us. We are gonna do a ladder storage off of it. Terry is behind you, so don't lose too much time on it. And then you have to roll down, because Terry will always try to bite you upright. So there we go. I failed the ladder storage. Epic stuff. Yep. Good job, Heiken. Well, just use... you can use control and then click with your mouse to just move a little bit faster. Let me just input it real quick. Oh my god. Something that you have to know, when you fail to input a code, you have to wait. I think it's like 2 seconds. It's really long, so you can't like start typing the code again really fast. Oh, I already have it? Wait, why can I not type the ice arrow? I'm confused. I'm really confused. I'm typing it wrong, actually. I'm just typing it wrong. Let's just do it manually because my muscle memory is kind of failing me right now. So you roll in the water. There we go. I don't know why I could not do it outside of the water. That's just me being them. You wait here, you equip the sword here, take damage from Terry. So you want to be at 1 health. Then you run around. Maybe without the pose you can see it clearer anyway. So you just walk, get onto the wooden plank, ladder storage here, and roll down so that Terry doesn't bite you. You get under the bridge, you get outside the bridge, and you enter this trigger. Quit to title because you can't roll forward because you are stuck in the glitchy state. Roll, collect the ice dagger, quit to title because it saves a little bit of in-game time. Continue, and then we are gonna walk. So roll out. Oh, I don't have my items equipped because I loaded a save state. I need... yeah, I was like this. Okay. And then we are gonna target. We're gonna like shoot the grappling hook, target, and press up or upright with the right stick once. So because we want to grab the crocodile, but the first target. Let me show. Actually, it makes more sense. So if we target, it's gonna target this one, and we want this one. So you need to press upright on your control stick once after having grabbed. You can do it before, but you are gonna do a little bit of time. The optimal thing is to first, as soon as you can, throw the grappling hook and then change target. So you die. What I like to do, which is not necessary, is equip the dagger now. It makes my next menuing easier. And now you respawn. So your menu layout has to look like this. What I like to do too here is get the C code. So if you don't know what the C code is, it's another code that I'm gonna put the inputs in the description. It's basically a code which lets you use the ice rod, which is the combination between ice dagger and fire rod, for 1 mana instead of 4, because it used to be 1 mana, so we had it like in the route and stuff, and then the dev put it to 4 mana because they were scared it would break like casual gameplay. But since they are nice to the speedrun community, they allowed us to like go around it by letting us use a code which we call the C code because it's kind of shaped like a C. And yeah, the code allows us for 80 seconds to revert the cost of the ice rod to 1 mana. A side effect of this cost is it's gonna have this little particle effect, which is pretty cool. It's pretty, first of all, and it's useful. I find it useful to navigate the Dark Tomb with. So when I'm here, I just actually roll with like numpad 0, input the C codes, and then switch back to controller. Okay, then you go around, you need to open the chests. You, if I save and quit, you don't need to quit the title, I just want to show you something. You need to kind of roll like close to the left part. If you roll too far up, you are gonna trigger sometimes the mob aggro. I don't know why I can't trigger it now. I'm not sure why, but it's fine. You don't want to trigger him. If you trigger him, just move a little bit closer down. So back to this splits. So you roll kind of far left, you open the chest. As soon as you get it, you roll. Same, you're gonna throw the grappling hook and then target and move up left with the stick to target the secondary item. Because by default, this is gonna be the one that's targeted, and we want this one, the one that's right around me. Keep moving. And then quickly you want to grab him and roll out of the way of the projectile so you don't take damage. Same stuff, you want to... so I have a cue actually for it, let me go back. As soon as you're past this little notch in the texture, this one here, you want to grab and then move the joystick up once so that it targets the right one. And we're into Dark Tomb. So if you have done this correctly, you will still have the C-code particles. That's because you can't see stuff in the Dark Tomb. I like to have it so I can see more precisely where I am. I have I had the orb right now, but I'm not gonna have the orb because I'm doing a ladder storage. So yeah, we are gonna do the fastest route is doing a ladder storage there to get to the chest. It's a little bit tricky because ladder storage makes the opening of the chest itself really annoying, but we'll get to it. First of all, we want to, with ladder storage and those like items, we want to get a little bit of height so that we can ignore spikes. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press F5. It's a like debug mode like perk to give us like random items, well, different items. It's gonna give us the lantern. We won't have the you won't have the lantern when you do it in the run, but I just want to show you so that you can see what you're doing. So there's a set of spikes here that if we walk into, sorry, they are over here. If we walk into, we take damage instantly. That's not good. So what we are gonna do is we are gonna get a little bit of height, and since we are doing ladder storage, we won't lose the height. We'll float away at the same height. There's two strats. The main strat that is used, I found a little optimization recently, so I'm gonna show the two. The main strat is just do this, walk straight like down right. I'm bad with direction. Down left, that is. And you can see visibly I'm walking over this little thingy. And if you can see there now, I'm a little bit above ground. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna allow me to not get hit by the spikes. I got hit by the skeleton there, but not by the spikes. That's pretty cool. So you are gonna need to do this. Let me get the lantern again. Little optimization that I labbed recently. It's really like minor. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. Is you are gonna like dodge the skull on your way, ladder storage, go around and walk over its nose. Well, I kind of messed it up there, but I got the height boost anyway. As long as you walk over its nose, you're gonna get the little height boost. Okay, so as soon as you've done either one of the two, you're gonna just walk straight. You don't see where you're going because you don't have the lantern, but it's just straight. Then you're gonna want to align with this, with this like wall. Keep going straight. It's gonna make you walk up the stairs, turn around, and onto the chest. And now to open the chest is a little bit annoying because you're doing a ladder storage. So if you stop pressing A to press A again and interact with the chest, you're gonna lose ladder storage and get warped back. Like this, for instance. You get warped back, which is not good. So what you want to do is without stopping pressing X, you want to press item 3, so the sword, preferably with your index, it makes it more consistent. And then you are gonna mash A to open the chest. If it doesn't work, so if you mash at the right timing, it's gonna work. Yeah, I didn't collect it, yeah, I was just checking. So I can try it again. What was I gonna say? I lost track of what I was saying. If it doesn't work, you need to input another sword hit instantly so you don't lose the ladder storage. But if it works the first try, it's gonna look... No, it's not gonna look like this. I messed it up again. Great tutorial. It's a very annoying part of the run, to be honest. So the enemy is not here anymore. It's fine. We don't use them anymore. Anyway, I was gonna say. So you walk. There we go. We open the chest. As soon as we pick the item, you quit the title. So same. It's one of the parts. I also suggest you to spend a lot of time getting kind of consistent. The mashing rhythm I found is kind of similar to when you do ladder storage with the stick. It's kind of the same frame window, and I think the rhythm should be similar. So there we go. Then we get out with the item that's the most important in the game. I'm not gonna equip it right now, but it's a card that lets you deal double damage as long as you have 1 HP, and it's gonna be useful for 2 bosses basically. So I'm not supposed to have all these items. So I'm gonna do it once again without the lantern, so you can see pretty much how it's supposed to look. By the way, there's a little thingy with the practice tool. That's not a bug, but that's probably an unintended behavior. Is if you kill an enemy and reload the save state, the enemy won't respawn. If you want to have all the enemies respawn as you would have during a normal run, you need to trigger one of those fire camps anywhere. So I just did here and I launched the Arc Tomb again. So I would have C code here, as I told you. You get into this ladder storage, walk over the skull, or walk all the way towards the down left, but it's either way is fine. You walk in between the 2 skeletons, you align with the wall, go forwards, walk around, and there we go. Spam, use swing sword once and then spam interact. And then you walk out and you roll. Now you want to roll to this little ladder. And you collect the ice wand. As soon as you have collected the ice wand, you quit the title. And okay, you are getting back here and you are doing a ladder storage off of this ladder. You walk right over this little wall and then into the loading zone. It's a transition, so you have to quit the title. And I think I'm gonna stop here. So you have done the run all the way until Quarry. I think the next tutorial is gonna be Quarry and Ziggurat. It's a big part. It's not that long, but it's a big part of the run. Maybe I'll do Atoll 2 or something. I'll see. And then there's gonna be a third part. I don't know. Maybe I'll do 4. I'm not entirely sure. But if you are able to do all of this already, you have done the first tricky part of the runs, which is the Dark Tomb. And yep, that's about it. Have fun practicing TUNIC any percent.